Pastor West, Ashley, family, we extend our deepest condolences to you. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. The Honorable Mayor, Attorney, State Representative, Congressman, and the man of God, Sylvester Turner, lived a life that exemplified this passage of Scripture. He acted in a just way, had mercy for those who were ostracized and disenfranchised, and walked humbly with his God. He was a man that loved God, loved people, loved preachers, and loved the church. Part of that was because when he was a young boy, Dr. W.H. Dudley, former pastor of Bethel Baptist Church, would mentor him, taking him on preaching assignments, hospital visits, and comforting families during death and difficult times. This helped form Sylvester Turner's love for people, the church, and preachers. I'll say a few things, I'll bid you farewell. He was always remembered by where he come from. When he first met Sylvester Turner, it was early on in his career. He was an attorney who hailed proudly from Acres Home, Texas, affectionately known as the Fofo. Sylvester Turner never forgot where he come from. In the words of one of his mentors, he became Acres Home born, Acres Home grown, and Acres Home owned. He lived in his beloved Acres Home neighborhood until the day he was taken from us. He reminded the young people of Houston Metropolitan scholarship banquets that where you come from doesn't determine where God can take you. And then he loved looking out for pastors and the church. Sylvester Turner shared a special bond and relationship with my father, Dr. S.J. Gilbert Sr. They met when Sylvester Turner would come into Jackson's barber shop in Studewood and get his hair cut by my mom, Sister Alice Gilbert. It was through this uniquely divine connection that allowed me to have an up-close and personal view of what a great advocate Sylvester was to many pastors and their churches right here in Houston. Many pastors in this city could stand where I'm standing today and share a story of how Sylvester Turner has helped them personally and helped their church. Many of our local pastors are pastoring their churches today and have been able to build and expand their ministries because Sylvester Turner stood up for them in the courtrooms and in the boardrooms to fight against injustices and unfair treatment. He was truly a friend to pastors. On a personal note, I'll never forget how during his final term as mayor, my dad folded his tent to be with the Lord, and he came to my mom's house, 5 black SUVs entourage down Donovan Street. He came in our living room where my mom was sitting and fell on his knees and held my mom's hand, looked her in her eyes, and offered his deepest condolences to her and our family. And as mayor, Sylvester Turner only named 3 honorary street toppers in our city, and all 3 were named after pastors, and one of them was my dad. This act of love for pastors will forever be remembered in our city. And then finally, Sylvester Turner was a man of God, a born-again Christian. Sylvester Turner loved his church and his pastor. He wasn't the kind of politician that just showed up at church during election season. In any setting, he would proudly proclaim with 10 toes down that he was a member of the church without walls. And his pastor was the Dr. Ralph Douglas West. Let me close with this story. You heard it on the screen that Sylvester told when he was planning to retire after 20 years of serving in the state legislature. When he made the announcement in a meeting, there was a lady named Ruby Mosley, and stood up and said to him, Sylvester, if you park your car and you still have gas in it, she said, I don't think God will be pleased. But if you're parking your car because all the gas is gone, then I understand, because that means you can't go any further. But if you're parking your car and there is still gas in it, that means God still has work for you to do. We're so glad he didn't park his car after serving in the state legislature. He later became a two-term mayor of the city of Houston, and the congressman representing the 18th congressional district of our city. But the other day, after riding in the rodeo parade, waving downtown at all the people, the other day, after being in worship on Sunday morning on the bingo location and sharing with Al West how proud he was of his ministry, the other day, after leaving the president's address, Sylvester Turner ran out of gas. And the Lord said, Sylvester, park your car. Come on up, where the wicked shall cease from troubling, and the weary shall be at. Come on up, Sylvester, where there's no more sickness, no more heartaches, no more pains. Come on up. You fought a good fight. You ran your race. Come on up, where all the saints of God shall sit at his feet and be blessed.